Hi, I'm Armina of Armina Sews, and welcome to my channel. I just wanted to take the time to introduce myself and tell you a little bit about me and my sewing journey so far. So I'm a self-taught sewist. I started sewing about 10, 11-ish, maybe 12. I was taught at the foot of my grandmother's sewing machine. That's my granny back there, Goldie. And basically what happened was I was messing around with her sewing machine. I broke it, or I thought I broke it. I only broke a needle, but I thought I broke the whole machine. And of course I got a little what you go boop, whooping on my tail. And then she told me, sit down. Now I'm gonna show you how to use this. And I have been attached to sewing ever since. It has become a part of me and a way of my day-to-day life. I have used sewing when I was younger in school to just help escape feeling awkward and out of place and even being bullied. Once I developed my own style and my own way of dressing, people gravitated towards me because they wanted to know where I got my clothes. They wanted to know where it came from, and they wanted to go, oh, you sew? Can you make me this? Can you make me that? So it was really, really, really meaningful to me as a teenager to have that skill set. Then I moved on into a younger adult, and when I had my daughter, sewing was a great asset to me to make clothes for her because I do come from humble beginnings, and money was not always something that just flowed to me. So even in my teen years, all the way to my young adult years, sewing has been something that I've been able to use to earn money and to save money, making clothes for myself, selling clothes to others from a teenager all the way up, and then also making my daughter's clothes when she was born. And I think I made her clothes for her until maybe she got to maybe middle school, and then she kind of was like, I want the name brand from the store because she saw what the kids, she didn't know the meaning of what sewn goods was at the time. Now she want me to make her little hairs and this, but I digress. So sewing has always just been a part of my life. Sewing to me is just something that you do. It's not something that you have to go, oh, I want to sew. I want to think about it. No, I just go, I need a dress. Let me pick out some fabric and make a dress. Um, I'm going somewhere special. I need something for a special occasion. Oh, let me see what I got in my fabric stash so I can make something. Sewing is just like breath. It's like second nature to me. And I love creating. I love sewing, especially as a curvy lady. I like to make my clothes because I can make things that fit my shape. A big challenge that I had growing up was I didn't find things that would fit me in my waistline. So I had to always adjust my waistline. One of the first things I learned how to do was make darts because all of my jeans, I think from teenager, I think all the way up until now, have darts because they never fit me in the waist. So yeah, that's a little bit of my sewing journey and where I come from. So I have some intro questions that I have gotten from other people that have answered questions and also Chat GPT. So my first question that has been on this list is, how did you get into sewing and what inspired you? I think I answered that one already, so we're not going to go backwards. The next question on here is, what is your favorite type of project to sew and why? I just like to, if I said what was my favorite project to sew, I would say I just like making my own clothes. I like defining my own style. I like walking to the beat of my own drum. I like that I don't have to go to the store and buy things and figure out how to fit into them. I can just make my own outfits and I make them work for me. So I would say just making my average everyday casual clothes day to day. That's my favorite things to make. And I like to make things for her. Mama, say hi. Next question. Do you have a go-to fabric or pattern style you love working with? Yes, I do have a go-to fabric that I love. I love jersey knit fabrics. I like scuba knits. I like blend. I just like knit fabric, period, because as a curvy girl, I think knits are my best friend. I don't have to always worry about the fit so much when I work with knits because they give, and that works for me. Woven fabrics are great. I love them because I like making my pleated skirts. I like having dresses with full bottoms. But if I'm looking for something to give me more of a sleek, more shape-fitting then I'm going to go with a knit. And I love knits. I have tons of knits in my fabric stash. So, yeah. That would mean I go to. A pattern? Nah. I like all patterns, believe it or not. I like florals. I like abstracts. Um, I just like bright fabrics. That's another thing I really love. I try to stay away from black fabric now. It used to be my go-to when I wasn't so conscious or aware of how I like my body to look in certain clothes, and I had more insecurities. But now that I don't have those insecurities anymore, and I love my body and I love the skin that I'm in, brighter the better, bolder the better. It's all about that for me. The fabric and the bright, I'm going there, and I don't care what anybody thinks. Next question. What's the most challenging sewing project you've ever completed? So recently, I have gotten into bag making. And I give all props due to the bag making community because it's not easy. I love looking at paper books. I love looking at the way they look and the way they are. But baby, they are work and a lot of intricate details. But I'm learning. It's on my to-do list for 2025. I actually have a bag sew along tonight. It's actually for a clutch wallet called the NCW. So yes, I will be posting pics for that. But baby, bags are a challenge. But I'm loving the journey and I'm loving the challenge. Next question on here, and it's only 5 questions, so this will be my last and final question I will be answering is, if you could give one piece of advice to beginner sewists, what would it be? I think that the advice I would give to beginner sewists would be, don't give up. Buy you a heavy-duty machine, not just a flimsy machine that plugs in. I mean, a flimsy machine that buy you a good heavy duty machine to start out. And all you really need to start out is a straight stitch and a zigzag stitch. Don't get caught up in so much of all the different bells and whistles in a lot of these machines. Look for one that's heavy duty, meaning that it's probably mostly metal than more plastic, because you want something that if you bang it up, mess it up, hit some bumps along the way of your learning journey, you have a machine that's going to last a little bit. So I say invest the money in a nice heavy duty machine. And there's a lot of companies out there that make good heavy duty beginner machines. Singer makes several heavy duty machines that you can use that are pretty decently priced. So I would say look into it. And if you have the money and you go to it, get you a Juki or a Bernina or whatever works for you. But get you a good machine that you can really work on and learn. And don't get so caught up in that it has 200 stitches. And you only need a straight stitch and a zigzag stitch to really get started. So that would be my tip to a beginner sewist. And to hang in there. If it seems like a challenge at first, take your time. Join some sewing communities out there on social media. Like I'm a part of the Black Sewing Network. I'm also a part of Sorority Wear. So there's a lot of different, that's a sorority for sewists if you didn't know. And the Black Sewing Network is a sewing network of Black sewists that embrace the sewing community. So you have two go-tos right there that you can have for support. Watch sew-alongs, become part of sew-alongs. There's a lot of times, like I think this all month, maybe to the end of this month, they're doing a lot of beginner sewist patterns. So join those things, join a community. If there's some local sew-along groups that you could be a part of those as well. But just get yourself out there and just get involved and see what other sewists are doing, and don't give up on your journey. So that would be what I have the advice for any beginning sewist. So anyway, with all that being said, I just really wanted to take a few minutes to say hello. Welcome to my channel. What do I plan on sharing here? I plan on sharing some of the sews that I make. I plan on sharing some tips and tricks if I have those. I may have some opportunities where I can give you guys some simple patterns. Also, just some simple advice along the way of like different fabrics to use for different things. If there's a pattern that you guys think that you want me to sew and we can sew it together, I'm more than happy to do that as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun here. It's going to be laid back. It's going to be easy breezy. I do a lot of easy, quick sews because when I do sew for people, which I have done for many years, since I was about 20 years old, I've been sewing for other people. I've worked with leather, I've worked with suede, I've worked with organza, I've worked with silk, I've worked with satin, I've worked with knits, I worked with all types of, I worked with furs. I worked with all different types of fabrics along my journey. And it's usually when you sew for other people, it's a lot of detailed work with a lot of drama. I've made wedding dresses, I've made coats, I've made prom dresses, I've made gowns, I've made animal clothing, I've made clothing for entertainers. I've done a lot of sewing. I've made pocketbooks. I have made pocketbooks in the past. And they take me a little longer than my garment sews, but I have made pocketbooks in the past. So this revisit to making pocketbooks in 2025 is because it's time that I conquered that challenge. And I think I've been pretty good so far. I've made 2 pocketbooks as of 2025. I've made the Phoebe pocketbook, and I've also made the pocketbook that was just came out by Sew Moded Bee, the Shamir bag, drawstring bucket bag, which is really cute. So I've made both of those as well. And I did forget, last year I made the Channeler by Beauty J Adore. So I have me a little bags in my arsenal now. The bags I made back in the day was more like backpacks and totes. But I've made those as well. So I've made an array of different things. I used to have a leather clothing line for adults and children's. I used to make leather jerseys. The only things I think I haven't really made was shoes, and that's on my list. It's coming, baby. So anyway, join me on this journey. Pop in anytime. I also will have some tips for us curvy girls that we might need as far as what patterns fit us best, what fabrics fit us best. But join me on my journey. Welcome in, and I look forward to sharing my journey with you. So until next time, bye.